You feel like that you're meant for more, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way, as you deserve from life more than you actually have. I mean, you deep down know that you have some message to send to other people. You have some creative ideas that you want to share. You have this potential that you perceive inside of you, but you're scattered. You have no idea where to put all of this energy, and for that reason you feel empty. You feel void. And the problem is, as different psychologists in the 19th century theorized, if you don't try to actualize your potential, if you don't try to be everything that you can, this energy inside of you won't go away. As energy don't get wasted in like physics. In physics, energy transforms every time. I mean, the sun hits the leaves, and the leaves start a process of photosynthesis so that they produce oxygen, and this oxygen will be used by other animals to produce energy, biochemical energy. You see, the light of the sun is getting transformed into chemical energy. Nothing gets wasted. The same thing is with psychological, let's say psychological energy. Also, psychological energy don't get wasted. If not used, it transforms. It transforms in psychological suffering. If you have a lot of talent, energy, ideas, things that you want to come up with, things that are born into your mind that you want to actualize in the real world, if you don't do that, you will start to suffer deeply from it. And I saw that in people that I know, and trust me, it's not good. Because when you feel the suffering, the only way to alleviate is to either actualize your potential or get distracted. Get distracted with usually hedonistical pleasures like alcohol, gambling, or porn, whatever. You try to distract yourself from your actual duty, which is to actualize your capabilities. So, if you don't want to be consumed by this energy, what you need to do is to funnel it into a productive direction, which is crafting a quest. You need a quest. As in a video game, you have a main quest to follow and go through with different goals and sub goals to accomplish. You gotta craft your own life quest. Okay, you gotta create a story, a narrative that you want to live by. If you don't want to be consumed by the existential dread that will go upon your head. Oh, I also do the rhyme. But the fact is, here's the thing, you need to craft a quest, you need to craft a narrative to live by. And in order to do that, you need different elements to it. First of all, the first thing that you need is a goal. I big into goal setting. I believe that goal setting is a skill that it's never actually been taught in school and must be learned. You must learn what you want. You have to learn how to decide what you want to get and how do you want to get it. Okay, you have to decide in a clear way what do you want to pursue, because if you don't know what you want to pursue, how can you even take action? Okay, the first thing that you have to learn is how to set goals for yourself. First of all, having a broad vision of what you want to reach, and from there try to break it down into some SMART goals. By SMART goals, I mean specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to what you want for your vision, and time contingent, because if you don't place a time limit on it, you will never going to act. So break it into SMART goals, and then once you have a SMART goal, you can start to take action towards it. But even more important than SMART goals, the problem with goals is that they often change. Okay, what you want now is different from what you wanted 5 years ago, and it will be likely different from what you will desire 5 years from now. So what you also need is not something that you want to get, is something that you want to get away from. So the second point will be a bad fate to avoid. If you think about it, every great story has a meaningful goal to reach and a bad place to go away from. Let's think about Lord of the Rings, for example. Frodo have to bring the ring to Mordor in order to avoid something bad. It's not that Frodo decides, oh, let's go take a trip to Mordor. No, he doesn't want to take a trip to Mordor. He wants to avoid a bad outcome. And this is what you need also in your personal story. You gotta have something that you are deeply afraid from, and you want to run away as fast as you can from it. So this will be your anti-vision. In order to delineate your anti-vision, the best way to do that is think about the worst day possible of your life. What is the thing, what are the kind of life that you will absolutely despise? Try to imagine it realistically from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep. What is the worst day that you can realistically live? This is your bad fate to avoid. So you have your vision, you have your anti-vision. Now you gotta find your meaningful actions. What are meaningful actions? These are the things that move you from getting away from this bad place and going upward to where you want to actually go. The meaningful actions are the things that bring you closer to your SMART goals, for example. And I want to point on that because actions itself are meaningless. Okay, I know it's kind of sounds some wacky philosophical stuff, but if you really think about it, actions itself are meaningless. Me recording this video has no meaning. Sorry, I do the phrase again. Me recording this video has no meaning unless I have the goal to get something out of this video. My goal is to one day be able to monetize what I'm doing right here, or at least using the skill from what I'm doing right now in order to monetize and have more success in the future. I'm trying to achieve a vision and getting away from something that I don't want, which is keep going with my job as a physical therapist. So this action becomes meaningful because it gets me further away from where I don't want to be and gets me closer to the goal that I want to reach. This will create a narrative. If you stuck all of these different actions in a row in a period of time, you create a narrative of the story where you get closer to your goal and farther away from your hell, your personal hell. But at the same time, it could be the story of how you get closer to your hell, then you go upward, then you also have all these trials and tribulations that will create meaning. Okay, even if you feel bad about it, it's better than feeling void. Feeling something is better than feeling nothing in this case, because if you have felt existential depression, if you felt like your life has no meaning, you know what I'm talking about. And trust me, it's better to feel bad but for a concrete reason than feeling bad because you feel like nothing has sense in this world. So you need these three things. You need a goal to reach, a bad fate to avoid, and meaningful actions that bring you closer or farther away from where you want to go. And there is a fourth thing that you need, which is for a great story, you can have an incredible goal. You can have a bad fate, the best villain in the world, the best, let's say, catastrophe possible for a story. You can have all of the meaningful action that creates this narrative, but if you don't have good characters in the story won't be interesting. And here comes the fourth element to create a meaningful life, which is good characters, good companions. And who are the characters of the story? These are your friends. These are your family. These are your companions. These are the people that you can connect with. And if you neglect the side, you will lose one of the life's best joys, which is the ability to connect with like-minded people. And it would be really a shame. No great story is ever written with bad characters, So in your pursuit of a goal, don't forget to connect with other people. Don't forget to know more people, to cultivate your relationships. Because the relationships, in the end, if you look at all the research in psychology, it's not the success that will bring you happiness in life. It's about the people that you have around. It's about the connections that you create with other people. So, if you feel empty, if you have this feeling as you're meant for more, you need a quest. You need a goal to reach. You need a bad fate to avoid. You need meaningful actions that will bring you closer to it. and you need good companions to surround yourself with. Thank you for watching. If you found this content useful, if you need maybe some more specific advice personalized to your situation, and you find what I said already useful, please just have a chat together. You can book a free one-on-one call with me. I would be happy to talk with you and understand what are your problems and craft a solution personalized to you based on the content and the things that I talk about. The video is over. Thank you for watching. Remember to aim upward as always.